What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the newest episode of the Believe in Oregon podcast. I'm Zachary, Neel. He's Jonathan Stewart. Jay Stu, what's up, man? How we doing?
I'm good.
A little
We just
tired.
talked a little tired, a little road trip. I was a photographer yesterday at the Cardinals Panthers game.
Photographer.
Yeah, got to be on the sideline snapping
How'd that
some
go?
photos. And it's pretty
That's
hard. It's pretty
it's
hard to
so
do.
much harder than people
Yeah,
think it is. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
impossible.
and knowing what to shoot
Mhm.
is the biggest thing because it's like, oh, should I shoot this?
You have to
That
anticipate the play. You have to know what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah, and that's a good thing too. Like I kind of had to because I played football. I had, like down in distances. I was like, oh, trips to this side. Got 1-on-1 over here. If he gets off the line pretty good, I'm gonna shoot my camera over there
Mhm.
on the 1-on-1. Which I
Yeah,
got a lot of good photos of Territorial McMillan.
there you go.
Um, so you'll see
There are
it.
a few things more frustrating than like thinking you got a really good shot and then looking and it's just like slightly blurry or
It's
just
a little
slightly
blurry. I
off.
was
Like,
just a little late.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've done
Or
some
someone
sports photography before. It's
or you're here and you
yeah.
kinda go like that, and then someone's in your way. It's like, "Oh,
Yep,
wait."
yep. That's always
Yeah,
tough.
that was fun.
Well, back to Oregon. I went live on Saturday afternoon, gave some of my instant takeaways from the game. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. To start though, I want to give you the same opportunity before we jump into take and bake and stuff like that. You watched the game on Saturday, I believe. What are
Oh,
your,
yeah.
what were your thoughts? It was an interesting one.
I honestly, hindsight, it was a we did our job.
Yeah.
Um, was it to my expectations as far as who we played, Northwestern? Um, they obviously had a game plan. I think they executed pretty well, which was we need to figure out a way to keep the ball from them early and milk the clock. And I feel like they kind of did that.
Hmm.
What I would have liked to see is us not get pushed around.
Yeah.
I think looking at the game, um, you know, I'm pretty sure Dan Lanning and the boys, they're talking about Penn State. I mean, yeah, you
Yeah.
got Oregon State coming in here. We got Oregon State this week, which should be one of those games where you need to dominate out the gate just for confidence. But watching them early on in that game against Northwestern, there's no way that we should have allowed them to their running back to have 4 yards per carry.
Hmm.
No way. Right? Yeah, they had an explosive run that, towards the end there, that padded their stats, but this is a team where the expectation is to hold that entire football team to less than 100 yards rushing, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because what you're doing now is you're setting up teams to look at holes in your defense.
Hmm.
What doesn't work? How can we attack them? So now Penn State's going to look at that film and say, oh, well, we have better running backs than they do. We have better offensive linemen than they do. So these are points, that we will be able to attack in Oregon's defense. So I just hate when you have a game like this where we came out victorious and we got things going. You showed your hand. You showed your weaknesses to a certain extent for another team to basically develop a game plan. And as a fan, when we don't have any control over it, we're just kind of like, for me, I hate that. Don't
Hmm.
show any weakness. Be
What
aggressive out the gate. Be dominant at the line of scrimmage. You are the better team, and you're the better team because of those reasons.
And that was also kind of a weakness that we knew after last year and kind of had
Hmm.
maybe concerns about, or at least we're aware of going into this year, is that the run defense, they got gashed last year against Penn State and then Ohio State.
Yeah,
And so this year, with a lot of replacements up front, and I think very good replacements, but new players, it's like, all right, how are they going to do? First 2 games, they looked great. This
yeah,
game was like, okay, they were getting pushed off the ball a little bit, moved around a
yeah.
little bit. So I'm not concerned about it, but again, that, the
It's
idea
something
is
that with
there.
that
It's something I know of.
you gotta address it for sure.
Yeah.
You can't ignore it. Um, I think ignoring it is what will get you in trouble, like what happened last year,
Mhm.
right? Early on in the season, there's games where we're figuring it out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're just figuring it out. Well, everybody else is figuring it out too.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting paid to diagnose and to study film and to overanalyze everything. So don't give anyone, an inch because they'll take a mile and run with
Yeah.
it.
Let's get into take and bake because my take and bake kind of builds right off of this. There seems to be this notion that Oregon didn't play well on Saturday. I mean, we're kind of talking about it right there. There's definitely stuff to clean up for sure. Um, you know, Hand up, I kind of leaned into that after the game a bit. I called this an ugly win. I said that there's a lot of stuff to clean up, that they didn't look great. After rewatching things though, like it reminded me that I think we all need to maybe reevaluate a little bit. I know it didn't look like the 69-3 win. I know it wasn't as pretty as that. Obviously, there's stuff to clean up, but this was still a lopsided game. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a very dominant game outside of even just one drive late in the fourth quarter. The stats show this. Oregon was up 34-0 going into the fourth quarter. Take away
Hmm.
that 179-yard touchdown run late in the game against backups, and they were allowing less than 100 yards on the ground. Sure, the defense didn't look quite as elite as it did against Oklahoma State or Montana State. They struggled at times to get off the field on third down. I also think that they kind of had a game plan and they rolled with it. And for the most part, I think outside of a drive or two late in the game, I thought they played pretty well. This was a blowout. Dante Moore played great. I thought he looked really
Yeah.
good outside of that
He
one
looked really
interception.
good.
And even that interception, like him and Dan Lanning explained it after the game that the wind got it, and maybe he shouldn't have thrown that ball knowing the elements, but I'm okay with him taking that shot to Decorian. I would have liked to see more from the rushing offense and the rushing defense. You got to remember that Noah Whittington did not play. I don't know how big of a factor that was. In a sense, though, yes, we believe this was a relatively unimpressive game by Oregon standards. And yeah, it may not have been 69-3 or 56-13, but it was still a pretty dominant victory against a Big Ten team on the road in a strange environment at a weird time.
Yeah, 12,000 fans there.
I think we take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not perfect. It was still a 20-point win on the road. Like, yeah, if
Yeah.
that's our idea of disappointing, yeah, I think
Oh
we're in
yeah,
a pretty
we'll
good
take that.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and again, when we're talking about this, I'm talking about it from the lens of a guy in the locker room, right?
Mhm,
My mindset, knowing what the expectations are and what you're putting on film.
mhm,
You don't want to put bad film out there again because you're giving other teams an advantage if you don't fix it. And so our hope is that this is fixable in the sense of, hey, you let a bad team push you around. Maybe it was just a bad day. Maybe it was the fact that the environment was bad and it's hard to get yourself going early in a game when the environment's 10,000 people, on the edge of water and wherever the hell
at
they were.
9 a.m. body clock.
And not, yeah. So I mean, hopefully those are some factors where it's like a given and that it's not something that is, you know, part of their DNA.
Mhm,
So that's the mindset that I'm carrying as far as the expectations of, the score of this game. Yeah, I think it's less about the score, is more about what we saw,
mhm,
and it was sluggish. You can't, you only get a few games to play,
yeah,
and every game matters in the sense of how you execute and the mindset of these players when you're going in. It can't be, oh, we should come in there and beat these guys. This is a given. Um, oh, that was a pretty good speech, pregame speech, or that was a pretty good halftime. You have to figure out a way to will yourself to dominate, especially when you're given the opportunity like Oregon has. You have the players, you have the coaching staff, you're in the Big Ten. Don't let up. Have some killer instinct about you. And if you're a player that's a young guy and you don't have it yet, you better find it because
mhm.
that's what championship teams have. They have killer instinct where they see, a dead animal, they stomp it out. They squeeze them out, right?
Yeah,
So, um,
sure.
so if you're a duck, you see your opponent
You see a beaver.
struggling.
A
You
wildcat.
see a beaver or a wildcat struggling, you make sure you go over there
That's a funny image.
and you torture
Stomp them
them,
out.
you stomp them out, and then you kill them. Boom,
All right.
bang
Well,
bang.
this is also something we talked about last year too. That I mean, I'm someone who I'm going to look at the bright side, or at least try to.
Hmm.
Um, the fact that you can get one of these wins and still leave feeling super motivated and like you have so much to clean up and feeling unsatisfied, I think
Yeah,
that's great. I mean, we
it's
saw
real
that
good.
last year against Idaho, against Boise
Yeah.
State, that they won, but it's like, man, they did not feel good, and they were driven to get better and improve. And we saw that they went 13-0 last year. So
Hmm.
I like the fact that you can get this win and still feel like they're practicing this week. I'm sure like they lost. Like I'm sure they
Yeah.
are practicing hard. They're drilling them really hard this week. So that's something I take away from this. I think that's a positive.
Yeah, that is a positive. I mean, I look at the running back room. You know,
Mhm.
if we can get to our, I guess if this is my take and bake.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, I thought one, I was like, "Where's Noah Whittington at?"
Good question.
um,
We'll find out tonight when we talk to Dan. I don't have any info on it right now. I'm assuming he's just dinged up. He traveled, he warmed
yeah,
up. I think he's fine, but we'll see.
but I was concerned about him not playing, and then Jaden Lamar, getting the bulk of those carries, and just I was not overly impressed
Yeah.
with the line of scrimmage.
Mm-mm.
Where's the line of scrimmage, going? Is it stagnant? Or are we, moving the ball before before the ball carrier has the ball? Like, meaning, is the line of scrimmage in positive, or is it in
Mhm.
negative, or is it stagnant? Um, because I would like for it to be where we can just plug and play. But that's how I was feeling watching the game, right?
Mhm.
But hindsight, looking back, I actually feel pretty good about the fact that we had an opportunity to not have Noah Whittington play a game to see what we
Totally.
have,
Totally.
because we have now we have seen what's his name,
Deer
Dier
Hill. Yeah, Deer
Dier
Hill.
Hill. um that is a future star.
God, he's good.
That is a future star.
He's so
That
good.
that touchdown run, for a lot of people watching these games, he's following a lead blocker.
Mhm.
Guy
Who is
pulls,
also a true freshman.
who's awesome. Yeah. So that's gonna happen a lot.
Uh-huh.
But the patience that he had on that run, where he didn't outrun or outpace his blocker,
Mhm.
is something that, that's a natural runner instinct. To It's one thing to follow a guy, but to pace with him,
Mhm.
right? And to be at a pace to where when the moment happens, you spring yourself loose and you outrun everybody. That's what he
Mhm.
did. Because a lot of times people get too, antsy, right? It's like,
Mhm.
oh, daylight, let me go, boom, right? And you don't set up your block. You don't set up the leverage on those outside runs. He did a really good job on that touchdown run, and he showcased his speed.
Mhm.
Man, that was good to see, because I mean, you have so many differences with this running back group. You have your bell cow,
Mhm.
and the other freshman. You have, I mean, we still have Makai Hughes. I mean, there's I would have loved to see him get more carries and see him,
5 snaps,
contribute.
1 carry in this game. Don't
Um,
I don't know.
but I mean, hopefully, I just hope for him, because
Yeah.
there's so much hype, and for this kid to have some success, and you know, these are the games where I would like to see it. Maybe Oregon State's one of those games we get to see him, showcase and be a guy.
I don't know, man.
Um,
If we
but
didn't
but
just before you go on, if we didn't see it in this game, without
yeah,
Noah there, I
yeah,
don't know. I
the
really
ship
don't know.
sailed. So you're saying the ship sailed, basically?
I've I'm kind of done hoping is what
Yeah,
I'm saying. This would have been the game I thought without Noah. It's like, yeah, get Makai a lot of touches. he had his least amount of snaps, least amount of carries of the year. 5
Yeah.
snaps, 1 carry. It's like, okay, they see something that they either don't like or don't trust, and they're going with other guys. So at this point, I trust them. I trust
Yeah.
the coaching staff. So
I definitely
I
trust.
hope
I
he can get
definitely
out
trust
there.
them.
I hope
Yeah,
he gets
but
out there for him. But yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
but Jay Harris,
Mhm.
he
Looks
seems
good.
to have been, um, stacking his reps, which is good to see.
We weren't wrong.
Um,
We were just early. That
yeah, we
was
were
it.
just early. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Maybe the same
um,
with Mackay. Maybe he is the
yeah,
Jay Harris season next year
maybe he's
if
the
he
Jay
stays.
Harris of next year. Yeah, if he stays, right? Because you have Davison,
Mhm.
the freshman running back, Jordan Davison. He obviously is someone that they trust. And that's a good sign.
Yeah,
I
and
think
Dink
that
too.
the depth is just it leaves me to be hopeful. It leaves
Mhm.
me to be ecstatic. It leaves me to think about colleges like Georgia, Alabama back in the day, where your star running back might be out of the game, but it doesn't matter because you
Mhm.
have a highly touted group of young men in that room that can still tote the pill. So
I agree.
um, I just want our offensive line, defensive line, get it together, man.
Yeah,
Look, bully everybody around. The expectations here, and we're gonna hold it to you. We're gonna hold it there because we only go as far as you go.
yeah, yeah. There's a ton of things to clean up, but again, I think that's a good thing after this.
Hmm.
I don't want this team feeling like they're at the peak of their powers yet. We've
No.
talked about peaking, and they're not
Yeah.
even close to when they should be peaking. So
Yeah.
let's talk about some other guys that stood out. You mentioned Deerhill. He looked incredible.
Hmm.
I'm super excited about what he can do. Dante Moore, it wasn't his best stat line of the year, but I thought he made some of the most impressive throws of his career in this game, stepping up in the pocket, just firing balls into
Yeah. That touchdown to
Corey
Kenyon
Moore, the
Sadiq.
touchdown to Kenyon over the seam, that rolling to the right, the third, I think it was second down or third down, just kind of floated it over to the sideline. Just
Hmm.
incredible ball placement and just the poise that he has in the pocket. I continue to just be so impressed with this kid.
Yeah. His arm talent,
It's
is through the roof.
it's crazy. It's
I'm
so
pretty sure
good.
college scouts are just kind of thinking to themselves, well, um, we got to start planning to figure out a way to get this guy.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say.
yeah.
Because that arm talent, I mean, you place that arm talent in the league right now.
Mhm.
In my opinion, he's easily a top 10
Yeah,
arm
just
talent.
arm talent alone, yeah, to make
Yeah.
nothing else of the ability to run the offense and the poise and
Yeah.
all of that, like, he's got the arm to be an NFL
Yeah.
quarterback.
Hmm.
Who else stood out to you?
Um, Mateo got him a sack. I
Taylor
like
looked
that.
good. Sack counter number
Um,
3.
yeah, we're gonna call him Uwe because I don't know how to say his name off the rip.
Well, neither does Joel Klatt or Gus Johnson, so the world needs to kinda figure this out. Uiagalelei.
Yeah, him.
Him.
Um, he had a great half sack. I guess they gave him a half sack,
Yeah,
but the effort
that
of just
spin move.
bulldozing his way and spinning his way to the quarterback
Mhm.
was very. That's the energy. That's the effort we should get from these guys every single time. Uh, I looked at watching Micah Parsons in that first game when he was with Green Bay. I know I'm off topic here, but it's on
Mhm.
topic because it's his effort. It was the last defensive play of the game, and he down. Chased down the
Yeah.
quarterback from the opposite side of the field, and he was being blocked, and he punished the lineman all the way through, and then he got through the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback's already scrambled, and he just tracks him down like a lion, like he's in the wild. And those are the things that make you elite.
Yeah.
So I look at guys like Uwe and I look at Mateo. Um, these are the guys that you want to be like.
Mhm.
So that effort needs to be 100% every time. So
I also want to highlight Jerry Mixon. I thought he had another great
Oh,
game.
Jerry
Obviously,
Mixon
another
is a
interception.
he is a
He's a good player, man.
he is a dog. He is a
And
dog.
he's such a good example of the development happening at
Yeah,
Oregon. He came in as a 3-star recruit, man. He was an unheralded high school player and he came in and now
yeah.
he is a very, very good linebacker, one of the highest graded linebackers on PFF in the nation right now. So
And
he's
you look
fun to
at a guy
watch.
like that, 3-star recruit, right? He has something to prove. He has a little
Mhm.
chip on his shoulder, and the coaches know that. So, man, to all the 3-star recruits out there, keep on fighting, keep on clawing, keep
Absolutely.
on working, because Jerry Mixon is out here leading the charge.
Mhm.
So it's good to have him, pop up because we were hoping, and it's interesting. Like everybody was worried about the linebacker crew,
Mhm.
and boom, we have a blossom here,
They
right?
look great.
They Dan was like, "Hey, don't worry about the linebackers. We're good."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trust in Dan. Trust the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more on the Northwestern game before we move on?
Nah,
Yeah, I
done
don't.
deal.
It was kind of a yeah.
It was a high school football game. That's the reason why I
That
wanted it to
was
be 63-0.
that was wild to watch. Let's move on to uniforms because we don't talk uniforms a ton on here, but they unveiled the shoe ducks yesterday.
Yeah.
The new uniforms for Oregon State. This for the Oregon State game this week. Tribute to Uncle Phil Knight, Penny Knight, and just all that they've done for Oregon. More of a thank you than anything.
Mhm.
So, I thought these are absolutely incredible. Like the details alone are amazing. What were your thoughts when you first saw them?
Oh, I loved it.
Mhm,
It actually reminds me of the Pro Bowl jerseys for the
mhm.
NFL
That's
in
true.
2015, 16, one of those years. I can't remember the exact year, but but they had the black and the gold trim, the gold trim. Um, you know, I think that's a really nice touch because it's obviously not Oregon colors, but we do what we want, right?
Mhm,
We make up um, you know the designs and the trends, and I think Uncle Phil, he's always wearing black, right?
mhm.
And I think
Black blazer.
the black blazer, so I think that's cool. The little homage maybe to him in that aspect of the design, um, but the gold trim, right?
Mhm,
That to me says, hey, this is a trophy uniform.
mhm. Absolutely.
Eh,
We talked to on my other podcast. We talked to Quinn and Todd Van Horn, the designers of the uniform with Van Horn Brands, yesterday, and
okay.
just going through with them like all of the little details, like the story within the story. Like these, it really is an art piece. These aren't just uniforms. Like there's so many little things that tell the story of Nike and that tells the story of Phil Knight. Wondering if you saw any of those and
I didn't
what kind
see
of
it.
stuck out to you, if any of the little things.
I didn't see the explanation of
Mhm.
any of it, but I did see the design. I know they had
Yeah.
like little signature, logo or
Well, there's like
icons.
the Blue Ribbon Sports logo, which was like what
Yeah.
Nike originally was. They've got tiger stripes on there because the first Nike shoe was called the Tiger. They've got duck
Hmm.
feathers on the other side, and then on the helmet is amazing. One side is the traditional, Oregon wings, like that we all know. The other side is like the wings, but they're made to look like the wings of, the Nike goddess of victory.
Victory.
The helmet is marble, so it's because like Nike is carved out of marble. There's so many little things that are just like incredible. The attention to detail is amazing.
Yeah. They do it again. They did it again.
Do it again. Yeah, absolutely great. We'll talk a little bit more about them later in our quack facts. I've got a question to stump you. We'll try. Let's let's get on to Oregon State. This preview. Once again, we're not going to spend a ton of time on this. For the first time this year, Oregon is not favored by 4 touchdowns going into this game. They're favored by 5. Our presenting sponsor, FanDuel Sportsbook, as the Ducks listed at minus 34.5 favorites over Oregon State, who was 0-3 this year. Losses to Cal, Fresno State, and Texas Tech. They're giving up about 40 points per game, They're scoring less than 20 points per game. The special teams, as head coach Trent Bray has said on live TV, is a bleeping joke. Um, I don't see how this isn't a massive blowout on Saturday, especially with all that's going into this game off the field for Oregon, honoring Phil Knight, everything around that. Do you agree?
Yeah. Home game.
Home game.
Period.
Home game with
game,
stuff to prove
homecoming,
after last week.
and you're upset about playing in the 12,000 seat
Yeah.
crowd. That's probably what their problem was. They're like, why are we here?
Yeah. No one's
Well,
cheering for us.
no one's even here. Um, that's going to be a butt whooping. Period. Oregon State sucks. This is
They
just
do.
not their
It's a
year.
bad team.
The Beavers are on an island by themselves in the Pac 12 or
Sure.
8,
They call
9,
it 12.
Pac
There's
3.
2.
But they should have got out when they could. I don't know how they would have gotten out. Maybe they
I don't
didn't
think
even get
anyone
a
wanted them.
bid.
I don't think anyone wanted them.
Oregon State's the stepchild over there.
Yeah.
But
Little brother.
I expect the trenches to be dominated by the Oregon Ducks. I expect sacks. I expect this to be a bit of a this is child's play. Just treat this like child's play.
Yeah.
And again, this should be like the first game of the season.
Mhm.
Okay. This is a preseason game. Get ready for Penn State.
I agree. Yeah, one thing I always like to look at is ESPN's SP Plus model, which ranks all of the FBS teams and FCS teams. So it puts all of 200 plus teams in a ranking. Oregon State is, so for reference, I think Montana State was like around number 83. Oklahoma State was 50. Northwestern was in the 80s. Oregon State's number 112. So it's like this should be a absolute blowout. I don't know how it isn't. What are you taking as far as betting lines? Oregon minus 34 and a half. There's no money line on this because it's too
we
big.
beating them by 60. I
The
don't
over
care.
under is 57 and a half. What do you think?
Yeah, over 57, and we beating them by 60.
Score, actually, my score prediction is 63-3. I think they will beat them by 60.
I don't even think they're getting field goal. They ain't getting in field goal range.
I wanted to put 63-0, and I gave a little bit of respect and put a 3 there.
Skunk. This is gonna be Mekhi Hughes is gonna get in the game too. When he's gonna get some carries, he's gonna be able to score.
It's sad that that's the point that we're at with Mekhi. Just aside from the game, that this is that's what we're saying.
Man, it's especially like Dan. The way Dan handles that locker room. I don't know if you watched his press conference.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, everything that happened last week and what's going on in this country. He's a good man.
He is.
And good men lead well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that locker room is way different than a lot of people's locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the voice. He has the ability to get the ears of young men and believe in something bigger than themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they are successful. That's why he recruits well. That's why you are able to develop these guys into being good players, but I think good men. And so I'm excited, for the remainder of this season. But when we put these expectations on a team like this, it's because we believe in Dan, and we have been. And after last year and the butt whooping we got to Ohio State, I think Dan is the man to take that and learn those lessons and be able to preach those lessons to a locker room to fulfill the duty, which is to win a championship. And so Oregon State, it would be cool. It would be nice to actually see a 63-0 win and give us all the confidence in the world as fans, and we can just sit back and relax, eat popcorn all the way into bowl season.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Once again, I think it's a matter of how much they want to win by and what they want the score to be, not what
Yeah.
the score is going to be made. All right. Once again, before we close out the show, we're going to go to our Oregon trivia segment, Quack Facts, where I try to stump Jay Stu. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned it earlier. This one is about uniforms. While the majority has ruled that Oregon's, shoe duck uniforms are great, some are upset that they do not feature school colors, green or yellow. My question for you, when
Sensitive.
was I know, right? When was the last time before this that the Ducks wore a uniform combination without school colors represented?
When was the last time?
Hmm.
Not wearing school colors?
Yeah. When's the last time they wore uniforms without green or yellow in them?
And they wear silver? Like all white and silver or something like that? Is white our school colors?
Green. We're just counting green or yellow for this.
Okay.
Because technically
Uh,
black, they wear black all the time too. But
did they wear all black one time? Oh, they had green in there. Green trim. Did
they
they
did
wear all
have
black?
green trim with the black, so that
Yeah.
does not count against Ohio State last year.
Dang. Oh, was it? It was the national championship game? No,
What national championship game?
no, the Rose Bowl.
No, they wore
Wait,
green there.
it was so they had when they have them chrome helmets.
That was the Rose Bowl, but they had green jerseys.
They green in that.
Yeah.
I really want to get this.
Okay.
Was it
I won't
silver?
give you the answer.
Was it all silver?
I'm not giving you this should be a no, you're close. You're getting there.
It's like all
Just
white.
just work it out. Work it out. You'll get there. I can edit this later to kill out some of the dead air.
But I guess like don't they have like man,
You're tired.
I'm tired. But I guess we wore white, but we had green helmets. So the
You have the
helmets have
answer.
to count too.
The helmets count, yeah. Their whole look.
Was it last year? Give me a hint. Was it last year?
It was last year.
Oh.
Just tell me the opponent. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Was it Ohio State?
No. The answer was
we
last
were
year.
black in Ohio State, didn't we?
Yeah, last year we were all black against Ohio State. Week 11 versus Wisconsin, who were black and white.
Yeah.
And also week 9 against Michigan, what you were thinking of, all white with the silver helmets. So
That's what
the answer is not that long ago. If you're mad about it, get over it. Because
get over
the
it.
Ducks do this all the time, and these
Man,
ones are
look,
objectively special.
For people that get offended about that, y'all need to really go see a psychiatrist or like go to counseling. I'm dead serious. People are too sensitive out here in this world.
If they
This
care
is
that much.
football. This is college football. It has nothing to do with you. You ain't toted a pill ever. Like, get over it. And you got a school that's one of the coolest schools in the nation that does this. This is their DNA. Like innovation, innovative. Like, get with the program, people.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, let's wrap it up right there. Once again, I plan to hop on and do a quick recap show on Saturday afternoon after the Oregon State game. So look out for that. And then Jay Stu and I'll be back on early next week, so you can catch us then. Jay Stu, you got anything to add before we get out of here?
Nope. I'm just waiting for that butt whooping. Them Beavers, they're gonna either they've been building their dam and we're gonna go over there and ruin it. We're gonna go whack it up.
I like that. All right, you can check out more of my work at ducksflyer.usatoday.com. Follow me at Zachary C. Neel on Twitter and check out my new Ducks Rising podcast. We've got film breakdowns with our good friend Jeff Schwartz. Follow Jay Stu on Twitter at JonathanStuR1 and make sure to check out the Ducks of a Feather podcast with him and Kenyon Barner. For myself, Zach Neel, for my co-host Jonathan Stewart, we'll talk to you guys next week. Until then, take it easy.